Tamara again from MidPointe Trenton Library, here for MidPointe Maker. And today I'm going to show you how to make your very own bulletin board that you can hang up in your room and keep your photos and notes and everything in here. And I will show you what we need to get started. This craft was adapted from a book we actually have in the library. It's Cool Crafts with Cardboard and Wrapping Paper. It's a series called Green Projects for Resourceful Kids. So this is a really good book. There's a whole series of these. If you want to see things that you can do, save some stuff from the landfill. This is a great series. There's even one on old CDs, old jeans, old t-shirts. So this is a great series of books. And I've been wanting to do this for a while, but I just didn't know how. So what we're going to use today, you of course need a scissors to cut your material. And we're going to use a ruler to measure some stuff so we make sure we get the right length. And we are going to use some fabric. I have a piece of fabric and it's kind of a whimsical animals in it. I like it because it's got the owls in it. And if you don't have fabric around that you can use an old t-shirt. Even if it's the back of an old t-shirt that's a red color, you can, use whatever color you want because we're going to decorate it up. And another thing that they tell you to use thick cardboard, or what I have is the foam poster board that you can get for about $1 around the dollar stores. So I'm going to use that. We need our glue gun. So make sure if you're not comfortable using the glue gun, from experience I can tell you that I have burnt my fingers many times. So if you need help, don't be afraid to ask for help. And then we're going to use some ribbon. And I buy a lot of ribbon because I do crafts. So I'm going to use some gray and black ribbon for mine. And then also we're going to use some thumbtacks. Now with the thumbtacks, be careful if your poster board is not too thick, because once you put them through, you're going to have a little point there and you can prick yourself. So just make sure you're careful using the thumbtacks because they do have a nice point. So that's what we need to get started here. So the first thing you're going to do is you want your rectangle. This is about 10 by 15 inches. So this is going to be our base for our bulletin board. And we are going to cut a rectangle from your fabric. So as you can see, if I put this up against my board, you want to leave about 1 inch of fabric around your board. So that's going to be your next step. So then we're going to center our fabric on the board. So we're going to take this and get it nice and centered. Then this is where the hot glue is going to come in handy. So as you can see, we're going to pull it tight around the back. And as you can see, I got it just a little bit I need to pull down. So you just want to kind of make sure it's even on all sides the best you can do. So I'm going to check it here. And then what we're going to do is glue down the edges. So let me show you how to do that. And you're going to be very careful again. The best thing is to start with one side. You're going to pull it real tight. So what we're going to do is take the glue gun. Glue gun dries really quick, so just kind of do a little bit at a time. And we're going to pull it real tight and smooth it down. We can always go back and add some more glue if we need to. And just do that. We're going to do that all the way around. And like I said, be very careful. I take it from experience. I have burnt myself very many times with the glue gun. And if you get some loose glue, you can pull it off. As you can see, my fabric was not very straight to begin with. This was some remnant fabric I bought. So, and then to tuck the corner, what I usually try to do with the corner is I try to make like I'm wrapping a present and pull it up like this because nobody's going to see the back of your board. And then again, take your glue gun. As you can see, I'm left-handed, so working in a right-handed world is sometimes fun if you're left-handed like me. So we're going to pull it, just kind of pull it, make sure it's tight. And then I'm going to go all the way around. So you're just going to kind of work the board as you go. Pull it tight. pull it tight, and if you start at one side, see how I got a little bunched up there, we're going to fix it. If it's bunched up on this side, it's okay. You just want it to be straight on the other side, so we can kind of see what it's looking like here. And then we're going to tuck up another corner and check it, pull it tight. Now I also make these, I have made these with wrapped canvas and staple gun. That is very fun to do. It's a little more expensive because you use a lot of staples in it, but it is a fun craft to do if you ever want to try it. So this is just kind of a quick one. You know, if you need a quick birthday present for somebody, you know, this would make a really cool present. So we're going to tuck corners again. And like I said, we'll go back and check for loose fabric after we get the basic thing done. The main part is to get it on here nice and tight. And not get glue on your fingers like I just did. But the good thing about getting glue on your finger, it does dry. Okay, so let's see here. Have a little bit more to do. And you can use a thicker cardboard. I would use thicker cardboard than the foam board because, like I said, with the thumbtacks, you do want to make sure it's not like just regular poster board, because then it won't be solid enough behind it. So I'm going to tuck my corner up here. Tuck my corner behind. And like I said, it does not have to be, as you can tell, you go through a glue stick pretty good, so I got some extra glue sticks. So I'm going to tuck my corner, and we'll look and see what we got. So that's kind of what we've got. See, we got the deer nice and centered, and we got an owl and a hedgehog and a fox and a little mouse there. So then I'm just gonna kind of smooth up some of these edges where the fabric was, and then we'll move on to the next step. So basically, if you've ever heard of a French Memo board, that's kind of what we're doing. Is just a version of that. So I've got that kind of tacked down pretty good. And you can see we got the animals centered as good as we can with the fabric. So the next thing we're going to do is you're going to cut ribbon in 2 strips. So what I did was go ahead and pre-cut the ribbon. You want the long ribbon to fit like an X form across it like this. And the short ribbon is going to go, you'll see when I get it all laid out, but the short ribbon's going to go at the corners. So that's where the ruler comes in handy. So I measured it, and each side, this is about 27 inches of ribbon for the long, and we've got about 16 inches for the small ones. So then again, it just depends on what side you're using. And then what we're going to do now is we're going to position the ribbon. So I always start with the big ribbon first. So we are going to center this ribbon. Don't worry if your ribbon's a little longer, we can glue it or we can cut it off. So we're going to pull the ribbon. We want to pull it real tight so it's going to hold. So what I'm going to do is put some glue down. That's why you don't have to worry. You're going to put more glue down. So I'm going to put some glue down here. And then I'll show you another trick to keeping the ribbon still. And then we're going to pull it so we make sure it's nice and tight. And we're going to tuck it up at the corner like that. Okay, and then we're going to put the other side on. So here's my other side. So we're going to basically make an X shape across it. I know I'm going to need another glue stick soon. Okay. So what we're going to do, and then we're going to check it, see how it looks before you glue the second edge down, and it is nice and straight. You want to pull it tight, and like I said, when we get done, we can go across the back and make sure there's no spots that need to be re-glued. So we're going to tack that down. Now, the next ones are the trick. And actually what I'm going to do is go ahead and put one of the thumbtacks through the center. So what you're going to do is put your thumbtack kind of in the middle. Just be careful not to poke yourself, because like with this foam board, I know it's not too sturdy. So the next part is we want to edit, we want to fix it. We want to fix it so it is, I'm fixing it kind of like it's like this, because we want to make a cross here. We're going to cross the ribbon there and there. So to keep that straight, we'll bring out the thumbtacks again, and we're going to push them through. And with the foam board and the cardboard, it's the same way. It's going to be, you guys kind of work it. And just make sure, like I said, you don't poke your finger. So we're going to hold it like that, and then that way we can make sure that it's a good fit. And I think that looks pretty good. So I am going to get another thumbtack. And we're going to push that through. Now we'll hold the ribbon for us while we glue it down. And you can see I'm getting kind of this nice, I like the crawl, because then you can stick your pictures and your notes here. And do not worry about getting it exactly straight. I find when I measure things, I usually mess up more than when I don't. Okay, so we got our thumbtacks, and they will stay in once this is just to kind of get them in place for us. They will stay in once we get it hung up on a wall. And so you see how I got the thumbtacks there. So we're going to flip it over, and we are going to glue. Once you got that glued on, we're going to take it and use our trusty glue gun here again. And we're going to glue it kind of so you can see how the pattern is they're kind of spread out in opposite directions, but kind of parallel there. And then we're going to, you can see where your push pin is. So you can kind of see that, yeah, it's going where it needs to be. And then we're going to pull the ribbon right there. And as you can see, I got a little spot that needs to be glued back down because the fabric's a little longer. So we will just glue that down while we're working here. Okay. And then we're going to take the other one, and it's going to be going the opposite direction. So when I turn it over, you can see how they're crossed there. So it's going to be going, like I said, parallel to the other one. Okay. So then we're going to repeat this with the other side. So we kind of got it going like this, so we're going to take the other side, And do the same thing with the other side. And my thumbtack, if your thumbtack comes out, just push it back in, because that's what you're going to want, is this to be able to be used for a memo board. And if you are doing this on the canvas like I was mentioning before, what I do is use buttons and sew them in. So if you're using something that's more flexible like canvas, so what I'm going for here is to kind of make these an arc here. These aren't going to cross at the side here at the top, but I kind of want them so they're going to work like this. And I'm going to kind of line it up. I want to line it up so that I have room to glue it. And we'll put a thumbtack here. So we're going to put a thumbtack there to hold it. And let's see. So we want it to kind of cross like that. So we kind of want it like this. We'll put our thumbtacks down. So you should have about 7 thumbtacks in this. You can always put more if you want more for posting your notes and stuff. So this is just going to hold them in place while we get them all together. So again, we're going to do the crisscross. So let's see how that worked. And like I said, if you don't have a piece of material, you can just use an old t-shirt. So we've got that in, so you can see it coming together rather nicely. And we're going to plug that in there. And we're going to glue that on. And so you have this nice little memo board. This one came off the center a little bit, so I'm going to retape it. That's the thing, if you do something where it doesn't, you can always pull it off, because it is just ribbon on fabric, so you're not going to tear anything. So we're going to pull it and tighten it up there, because I don't like the way it's looking there where it's not tight. So I'm going to pull it that way. And we're going to tighten it up. Okay, so there you have your very own memo board that you can use. You can get some sticky tape and put it up on your wall, and you can use it to put your favorite pictures or put like to-do lists, your homework notes, or any of that good stuff. And there you have it. This is MidPointe Maker, and this is our do-it-yourself memo board. This is Miss Tamara. I want to thank you for joining us. Remember to subscribe to MidPointe Library's YouTube channel. Remember to follow us on Facebook and Twitter, and like us on Instagram. And we hope you have a good day and have enjoyed our craft today. Thank you for joining us.